Good evening, Dean Chemerinsky. My name is Aubin. On the behalf of the Berkeley Law Society, I would like to thank you to welcome us in your office in order to exchange, to have a conversation regarding some topics pertaining to the Berkeley Law. So the first topic is our group. This is the PLM program. The people encompass the beauty of the humanity. You have amazing people, not just because of the diversity, or not just because they are partners in the best law firm in the world, but when you speak with each one, there is something special, something unique. This diversity of people is amazing, and my question is the following. May I say that Berkeley Law is a special university where there is a combination of academics, strong personality, and achievement.
I certainly would agree with that. I think that Berkeley is a very special place. It's what brought me to come to Berkeley a year ago to be the dean. And I think you put your finger on what makes it so special. The academic program is terrific here. It's true for the law school, and it's part of a campus that's really one of the finest universities in the country and the world. Strong personality would be an accurate description of both our faculty and students. They're definitely, but that's what makes it such an exciting place. And it is a place of great diversity. The LLM program brings students from all over the world to the law school. It so enriches our program. At the same time, by having the summer LLM students here, when there's almost nobody else, we get to spend a lot more attention focused on them.
Yes. There is this picture on the wall of Berkeley University. This is a picture in white and black. On this picture you have German, you have English, and you have French. Second World War. This is the date of the picture. So on that time, students in Berkeley were able to study together, to share intellectual reflections apart the abomination of the war. My question is the following. What are your commitments as a dean, as a member of the Berkeley Law, in order to maintain the voice, the culture, the spirit of Berkeley in the world?
It is very important that Berkeley be diverse. This country is diverse, the world is diverse. We have students here from literally dozens of different countries who come here to study together. How often, how many places is that possible? One of the great things, I think, from the perspective of students is it then gives them contacts with lawyers truly all over the world. At the same time, we're diverse in every way. We're diverse in terms of race and ethnicity. We're diverse in terms of sex and gender. We're diverse in terms of sexual orientation. We're diverse in terms of religion. And that's a way in which our students can learn from one another. The faculty can be learning from the students. And again, it's something that so enriches our environment.
Yes, it is. Because now my generation is facing issues. I'm speaking about racism, I'm speaking about discrimination against minorities, Islamophobia, anti-Semitism. I'm speaking about Europe and North America. We are a generation, we don't know the war. And I do think we have no excuse to think like that, because first, we are educated generation, so we know the history, we know what happened. And second, we receive this education in the university, which allow us to receive information, to analyze it, and to criticize it. So then my question is the following. Do you think that today the Socratic method is still the best way to provide people with the critical thinking, to allow them to have a dialogue at the worldwide level?
I fear I'm going to sound like a law professor when I answer a question with a question. It all depends on what you mean by what's the Socratic method. If you mean the Socratic method to be a method of teaching that involves a great deal of analytical rigor, that involves questioning everything, yes, I think at this point in time that's enormously important. If you mean the Socratic method, professors cold calling on students, which it's often taken to mean, No, I don't believe in that. I've been a law professor for 38 years. I've never cold called on a student.
I've been studying in 3 different countries in Europe. I spent a lot of time in Morocco, in North Africa, so I can compare different systems. What I receive here in Berkeley, when I arrive in class, I have to read the materials, I have to have some knowledge, and then when we are in class, there is this dialogue between the students and with the professor. So the professor is a guide, so he will ask questions, you have to answer, and what is wonderful is this program, you have people coming from all over the world, so we will compare, we will dialogue, and from it, we will have a course, so you have a line.
I'm biased because it's how I was taught and it's how I've been teaching for a long time. But I think that an interactive form of teaching is much better for students than a pure lecture form of teaching. And so I think the idea that students have to read the material in advance is very positive because it leads to a much more informed conversation. I think a dialogue is useful because if I can ask challenging questions and then engage in a discussion, it will be much more in depth than if I just lectured to the students. Also, one of the wonderful things about that form of teaching is the students have the opportunity to learn from one another.
Yeah.
And there's not a class that I teach that I don't hear something from students that I've never thought of before. And I have the chance to learn from them. Whereas if it's just me talking, I'm listening to myself talk, I'm not learning in the same way. The students aren't learning the same way as they can from each other.
Yeah. My first topic, Berkeley, is an amazing place in California. In California, you have innovation, you have entrepreneurship, and you have startup. I have this feeling that the profession, the legal services format, as it's provided now all around the world, is like a dinosaur. Because now you have the technology, artificial intelligence, digital, even outsourcing, and you have those law firms. I would like to know how you see these new topics, artificial intelligence, in combination with the law.
I think you're absolutely right that the developments in technology are crucial to law and the practice of law. But they don't change the core of what lawyers do. Lawyers have to negotiate deals. No artificial intelligence is going to replace lawyers in doing that. When a person is accused of a crime, a lawyer needs to be there to represent the person. No artificial intelligence is going to be able to replace that. When it comes time to advising a client about how to draft a will or structure an estate, there's no artificial intelligence that's going to replace that. So the tasks of lawyers, counseling, negotiating, litigating, are ones that are going to continue, and technology isn't changing the core function. Now, technology is constantly creating new legal issues, and technology can change aspects of the practice of law, but I think it's important to keep it in the perspective of the larger set of tasks that lawyers do.
Foreign educated people, when they arrive here, what is your first advice? How can you help them to better understand the legal American culture?
I think the advice that I give to all law students, whatever their program, is to study hard, that to really immerse yourself in the law. And I don't think that's different for our JD students or LLM students or JSD students. Now, the level of understanding may be different. The issues they're focusing on may vary. But ultimately, I think that there's no other way to learn the legal system or about the law other than to immerse yourself in it and work really hard.
Yeah. Einstein said that the genius is maybe 90 or 95% of work. And sometimes you also need a good mentor, you need a good university to help you to pass the bar of 90 to 95.
Absolutely true.
As an accomplished man, as a dean and professional acknowledge, what would be your advice to my generation to have a successful life?
I think it's to find your passion and to follow it. I have 4 children, and what I tell them is to find something that they love doing. Um, and we spend so much of our lives at work. It's so important to do things that we really care about and that we're passionate about. I also, for my children, always tell them how important it is to treat others with real kindness and decency. I feel incredibly fortunate in that I have a wonderful family, a terrific wife, and 4 children, and 2 grandchildren, as well as a career that I loved every minute of and continue to.
An additional question is, this program is particular, maybe one of the best in US, because it allows a professional with an average age of 35, 40 years old to come here for 2 consecutive summers, so they can have a family life, they can continue to have their job. Why do you think this program is exceptional for foreign lawyers?
I'm so excited about the professional LLM program. It's unique or close to unique in the United States. It allows professionals from other countries to come be part of Berkeley Law School and to get an LLM. And otherwise they probably couldn't do so. There's people who, because of their careers and family obligations, couldn't come for an entire year. But by doing it through 2 summers, it makes it possible for them to then get the advanced degree and be part of our law school. Also, it's great because it's during the summer, it's a bit quieter here, and we really can focus the attention of the school and the attention of the faculty on the professional LLM students. I've so enjoyed getting the chance to meet some of them over this summer and over last summer, and I'm a huge fan of the program.
Thank you again, Dean, to welcome us, because it was the first interview on behalf of the Berkeley Law Society. This is an organization now which will allow people to connect each other between both summers and also from an academic year to another one.
It's terrific. Thank you for taking the time to talk with me.
Thank you very much, Dean.
My pleasure.